Sugarfolk Homemade, my podcast, which is really just all about what crafts I've been into lately. It has been a while, so for those of you returning, thank you so much for waiting, and welcome back. I'm so sorry that it's been so long. I'll go into more detail with that later, but if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. I still can't believe how great this channel has done. This is only my 5th episode, I want to say, and you guys just keep coming back, and it makes me so happy. Anyways, I've been gone for a while, obviously, so I have quite a bit to share. So we'll jump right in. I hope you have something nice to sip on. I'm actually having some French vanilla black tea. It is summer and I wouldn't typically go for hot tea, but it is very rainy today and it just kind of felt fitting. Also, this tea was a part of a gift that someone sent me, which I will get into as well. So yeah, I'm a little rusty because it's been a while, so bear with me, but let's go. Wow, that's really good. I've never had French vanilla black tea before. It gets an A from me. So let's start with what I am wearing. I just finished this tank top 2 days ago. This is called I can't remember anything. The Double Take Tunisian tank by K Crochets. And I will put her name down here so you can find it. And as always, all the links to the patterns will be in the description. So this was actually crocheted, and I've mentioned before, crochet is where I started my crafting side of me, I guess you would say. But I have never tried Tunisian crochet, so I thought I would give it a shot. And to be honest, I didn't know that this was Tunisian until after I bought the pattern, which was really kind of dumb of me because it's in the title. But anyways, I don't have a Tunisian crochet hook, but thankfully the size that I made fit perfect on just a regular hook. It was crammed, of course, but I put a rubber band on the end and all the stitches hung on there, so we made it work. And I'll stand up and show you what it looks like. Kind of nervous about this mic cord. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but so it's a cropped tank. It's got some ribbing at the bottom, and then let's see if I can show you the back. The back has a keyhole opening. I hope you could see that. Super easy, especially if you're a beginner. I'd never done Tunisian crochet, like I said, and I had no problem. She has like a little link to a tutorial, and it was super easy. I will say, I did not swatch, of course, that's me. So it took me longer than it should have because I started out making the size small, and as I was making it, I was like almost done with the front piece because it's a front and back and then you sew them together. And I was almost done with the front piece and I was like, I just don't know. I don't think this is going to fit me. This looks like it would fit my daughter, who is almost 3. It was tiny. So I ripped it back and then I started again, and I can't even remember what I did, but I had to rip it back again. And finally I settled on making the size medium, and it took me about 2 weeks until I got it finished. And then I tried it on and it fit, like I could get it on perfect, everything like that. But the bottom, the ribbing down here, it was supposed to be a little bit like tight at the bottom, so this would kind of like overlay a little bit, and mine came out super flared, and that just wasn't, it's not a very cute look on something this cropped. So today actually I wanted to wear this, and at first I was going to let the flare just kind of be and just deal with it, but then I was like, no, I want to wear this often, so I'm going to fix it. So I thought about maybe steeking the sides and sewing just the ribbing at the bottom closer in. I've never steeked before. I don't even know how to do it, to be honest. It's kind of scary, and I haven't cut anything yet, but I did go in on the side. I flipped it inside out, and I just used a piece of yarn, of this same yarn, to kind of just sew it a little tighter. And so you can kind of see there's like a little gap here, and this doesn't look that great. I haven't blocked this yet either. And I still have the extra in here that I was going to use my sewing machine to reinforce that seam so that I could cut off that extra hunk in there. And I sat down on my sewing machine, this was like an hour ago, and my bobbin was out of thread. And I said, I don't want to deal with that right now, so we'll just wear it. And now I'll probably never do it. I'll probably just leave it how it is because it works. About the yarn that I used was Yarn Bee Sugar Will Cotton Solids, and this is the color Nutmeg. My brother's girlfriend actually bought me 3 skeins of this and 3 skeins, I don't know how you say that, of another color that's like a ashy blue, like a darker ashy blue. So pretty. And I struggled to figure out which color I wanted to make this in. But this yarn is so soft. It's 100% cotton, and I feel like some cotton yarns, they almost feel rough, like they almost have like edges on it, if that makes any sense. Like it's not completely round, and it's just kind of rough, and I don't know how to explain it. But this one is very, very soft, and I actually really, really like the fabric that it turned out. And I really like the look of Tunisian crochet. I'm shocked that I've never tried it before, and it was so easy. It was a bit of an adjustment, just getting used to like the muscles that it used. I found that I must have been using different muscles in my wrists and my forearms because my arm was getting really tired in the beginning, but it got better as I got further along into the project. But yeah, I really, really like this tank top. I want to make another one in the blue color that I have, but I have so many projects that I need to finish first, and then I think I will go on and make another one because it's just so cute, and I would love to make one a little bit bigger because this one is pretty snug. I mean, as you can tell, it's like there's not a whole lot of give here, but it works. But I would like to make another one, so hopefully in the future I will be showing you another one of these. And I did use the recommended needle size, although I probably should have gone up because my swatch, or I never swatched, but my final outcome was not what it should have been. So I guess I am a tighter crocheter. I don't know how you guys are, but depending on the needle size, I always, so that all my tension ends up even, I pull the working yarn tight so that it's the exact circumference of the needle that I'm working with. Not like the contoured edge, but like the base of the needle. I pull it to that circumference every single stitch so that I know every stitch is going to be the same tension. And I guess that ends up being a little tighter than some people, but it works for me. Sometimes it takes me a little longer because I don't swatch. I need to just swatch, but you know, if for big, like really big things, I'll swatch. Like I'm going to be making my husband a sweater soon. I will definitely swatch that because I'm not going to waste 6 months working on something and then have to redo it. So in some cases I will, but for something like this, such a small tank top, I ain't got the time. Okay, moving on. This was probably about 3 episodes ago. Might have been like my second episode. I was talking about a dress pattern that I got, and my mom had bought me fabric for it, and I just hadn't picked it up to get started on it yet. And this is a pattern I had wanted to do forever. It's been on my Pinterest board for years, and that is the Simplicity. This is 9122, but I got this on Etsy and it came from Australia. I'm almost positive it's called Simplicity 1080. It's this Farmhouse frock dress. You can do a dress or a tunic. And yeah, I have wanted to make this for years. My mom took me to our local fabric shop one day and she let me pick out whatever fabric I wanted, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I actually thought about wearing it for the podcast today, but there's still a couple things that I need to, like, it's finished, but it's not 100% finished. I still need to fix do a couple seams on the inside, like where the extra, I'll just show you. I don't know how to explain it. So, here she is in all her glory. I will post a picture over here of me wearing it. I tried it on this morning to take a picture for you guys, to show you what it looks like on. It is so darling. I love it. So cute. So it has these little, I don't really even know what you call this, darts maybe. I'm not a seamstress. I don't claim to be. But it cinches it in a little bit, and the pattern does have it much higher, which makes it sit like right below your bust, which is kind of awkward to me. So I did lower it, and everyone I've ever seen who made this pattern says the same thing. They always lower it. So I went ahead and did that too. And I think in the pattern you're supposed to have a tie coming from both of these darts to tie in the back, but I made mine pretty tight on accident. So I figured I didn't need the waist tie. And I did have the intention of making this a tank top kind of sleeve, but as I said, I'm not a seamstress and I could not figure out how to fold this in without having a huge gap under my arm and still be able to get it on my body. So I just stuck with the sleeves that the pattern said to do. And I will disclaim that anytime I've ever sewn something, I never read the actual pattern. I buy the pattern so I can have the pieces to cut out, because I can't figure that out on my own. And I just kind of think about it for a while and then start sewing together what I feel like needs to go together. And so far it works okay. But I'm sure I did some things wrong, and that's fine. Totally fine with that. This is just for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So yeah, I've got these two beautiful fabrics. This one is it's got a little flower on it. These were both in the Civil War section of the fabric shop with all these like vintage florals and things. Oh, I love it. And then the bottom is this really pretty vintage floral. And this, not really pocket, more of a applique, I guess you would say, decorative part. I'm really bad at showing this. This is actually the end of a table runner that my great grandmother, whom I was named after, embroidered. And it's been sitting in a closet for years, and I thought, you know what, it's not getting any use in there. I'm not going to put it on our kitchen table with my toddlers because it's going to get ruined. So the first end that was embroidered, I made my mom an apron dress. It's her grandmother, with the one half, and then I thought, well, I'll just use the other half on mine, and it fits. It just goes with the colors perfectly, in my opinion, and it just kind of gives it that farmy feel with the basket. I just love it, and this is so special to me because it has that on it. And my mom bought me this fabric, so this is something that I will keep forever and I will pass down. I just love it. Very, very cute. And I don't know if the pattern is actually easy to follow because, as I said, I didn't read it, but what I did was fairly easy. And I haven't finished it all, of course, but like I still have on the inside where I have the seams, I still have to go back and like kind of fold these in and just secure all the loose pieces. But I think I only have the 2 sides and the, oh, I think I already did this part. Yeah, okay, so just the 2 inside seams going down the side, and then it's done. Oh, and I do want to go around this border of this to kind of fasten it down, because right now it likes to stick out. So I need to sew that down just so I feel like it would get hung on a lot of things. So I want to make sure that stays in place. So that is my Dottie Angel frock. Maybe I'll wear it next time I film. It's so cute. Okay, I need a sip of tea. My throat is getting very dry. And of course my teacup is floral, as well as the skirt that I'm wearing today. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with florals, clearly. Okay, those are my finished objects. Moving on to another sewing project that I started 3 years ago when I first got my sewing machine. I started the beginnings of a quilt. My great-grandma had given me a huge tote full of all kinds of fabric scraps, and a lot of them were already cut into little squares, probably 4x4 squares. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I got a sewing machine. I'm going to start sewing a quilt. And I didn't get very far, but I kept it. And then I remembered when I was going through my stash for my dress that I had actually acquired fabric to put towards this quilt. Totally forgot about it. And I'm hoping that I can pick it back up and keep working on it, because speaking of florals, the whole thing is floral and I just love it. Okay, I can't reach it. Got it. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. Wait a second. So my plan is to just have every row a different kind of floral, just in diamond shapes all the way up. I saw a picture on Pinterest of a quilt like that. It might not have been floral, but every row was just its own fabric design, and it just looked super pretty. And this is very feminine. It'll probably go to my daughter, because I don't know if my husband would let me put this on our bed. But it is, I don't really know how big I've made it. I would say it's probably like a twin size, because I can hold it out with my arms. So I've got 5 rows so far. Got this purple floral, and then a pink striped, another pinky one. This one's my favorite. I love the big vintage florals. And then a blue. It's not really floral, but it kind of fits. So I got, again, a couple years ago, I got some fabric to add to it, and I just never did. I actually got this when me and my sister-in-law and 2 of our friends went to a rug hooking class at our local quilt shop. Super fun. I actually still have my little project that I started that I intended to finish, and I did not. Another very fun craft. But while I was there, of course, I had to get some fabrics. These were on sale and they were floral, so I said, perfect, I'll go with my floral quilt. Hopefully I have enough. I just got these pre-cut pieces, and I'm fingers crossed. I think that they will be enough squares to make it all the way across. And if not, I'll find some fillers in there somehow. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to crafting, so I got this beautiful floral. This one's so springy. I love it. I wish I had a dress in this floral. Ooh, so pretty. So I got that one. And then another very fun springy floral. all the different colors. This one like screams Easter to me. I love it. I love pastels. Very, very cute. And I think these are all, I'm gonna say these are all quilting cotton. I don't know much about fabric, but I'm gonna assume that's what this is. And then this one, just heard a funny noise. This one kind of gives me more of the Civil War era vibes, like my dress. Just because of that muted yellow, it almost looks like a dingy yellow, but in a good way. And it's just got little tiny roses on it. Very pretty. So I need to add these 3 rows to this quilt. This quilt will be done maybe in 5 years or so. This is not in the front of my brain as far as projects go, but I do want to work on it some more and get some progress going on it, because I do think it would be very, very pretty at the end. My house is just already full of so many quilts that it's kind of like we don't need another quilt, but that's all right. Okay, so that's all the sewing I have. Moving on to works in progress. I have made some progress on my self-striping socks that I started. Not much progress, mind you, but some, and some is better than none. So these are just my little basic socks. These are for me. I love these colors. Absolutely love. This is the Regia 4-ply, I don't remember, sock yarn in the colorway Cardamom. And I think I'm going to do probably another inch. So not really a full length sock, but not an ankle sock either, kind of in between. And then everything is just a basic. This is a 1x1 rib at the top, and then I'm just doing stockinette. And I think for the heel flap, I'm going to do, I think I may have mentioned this last time, I'm going to do the same heel that I did on my wood nymph socks, which is, I don't know if you can see, just like a textured heel. Very, very cute heel. Just to kind of spice it up a little bit. I didn't want to do any kind of like patterning in the leg or the foot because it's already striped and I thought it might lose the pattern. So just to spice it up a little bit, I do want to do a fun little heel. And I have this cute little stitch marker on here. It's just a little pink ball. This was actually also part of the gift, which my tea came with, and I will get into that in just a little bit. Very exciting. So yeah, these are my socks. The pattern that I use for socks when it's just a basic sock is Kristen from Voolenvine. I use her, what's it called? Favorite sock pattern? Okay. Am I missing a page? Favorite socks, yes. Because she has the video to go along with it, so sometimes I get a little stumped on the heel. This is only my 3rd pair of socks. And I get a little stumped on the heel sometimes, and her video really helps me figure out what I'm doing. So that's my socks, as always, being kept in my little floral pocketbook from the thrift store. And next work in progress is my Weekender Light, which again I have been working on for what feels like forever. But actually, I don't remember if I showed you guys last time. I don't remember where I was the last time I showed you guys, but this has kind of taken a back seat because I wanted to do this tank top before summer was over so that I could wear it all summer. So I just recently picked this back up, but I am finally to wear, I just realized this cord is like just hanging out all obviously. Okay, I have separated for the front and back, and this is the part where it gets really tedious to me because I don't like purling. I don't mind it, but I'm just not as quick and I have to pay more attention when I'm purling. So because of that, it's not in the round anymore. It's now being worked in 2 separate pieces, so it's back and forth. So I do have to purl every other row. But I'm about halfway through the front piece. It looks really funny down here, and I'm hoping that it'll block out to be flat. We will see. Yeah, I'm got my back stitches on hold here and just working back and forth on the front, and I'll do the same on the back. And as tedious as this sweater is to me, I am very excited to wear it because just the way the fabric feels, it feels so, this feels like a summer sweater, like something that I would throw on if we're going to go outside and have a fire or just be out at night in the summer, because it feels very light and breathable. This is cotton yarn. I mentioned before, this is the Sheepyas Cotton 8. It's not as soft as the cotton in this tank top. This one is more of, like I was talking, it almost has ridges in it, but the fabric, once it's knit up, is so nice and it's so fine. I mean, you can see just how tiny, like how many stitches are in this thing is what I want to know. A lot. And so it makes it feel like it's taking a long time, but that's just because there are so many stitches, because it's a small needle, small yarn, but it will be worth it. I'm excited to get back to work on this. Like I said, I have not been working on it recently. I just picked it up again last night. So hopefully by the time I come back on here, I will have both the front and the back complete, maybe even the sleeve. We will see. But that is my Weekender Light, and that is by Andrea Mowry. She has come out with so many beautiful patterns lately, and I have added every single one to my favorites, even though I know I will not be able to do them all. Maybe one day. They're all so beautiful. Next work in progress is my son's blanket, which I showed you guys last time. And again, I don't remember where I was last time, but I have made a decent amount of progress on this. So last time I think I only had like this much done. So I've got a good bit done. I'm really liking the way it's turning out. I really like these colors together. I did mess up right here. I'm not really sure what happened. I think I lost a stitch somewhere at the end. But when I look at it, it doesn't look like I did. It could honestly just be the fact that this is a lighter weight than these two colors, so it tends to squish in. But it's a blanket, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about most things when it comes to my crafts. As I said, I'm honestly a perfectionist in everything except for my crafting. Like, that's the one thing, and I think it's because it's only for me, and I don't have that high of a standard for myself. But if I'm making something for someone else, or like when it comes to my home, or I don't know, literally everything else, I have to get it perfect. But when it comes to crafting, I just don't care. It's fine. And I'm honestly kind of glad I'm that way, because I mess up a lot, and if I was a perfectionist with my crafts, I feel like it would make it frustrating. So I just kind of tend to go with the flow. So yeah, this is coming along nicely. I have it folded in half right now just because it's too big to hold, but I'm hoping that this will last him for a long time. As I said before, his last blanket was the very first thing I ever crocheted. Didn't know what I was doing when it came to tying in loose ends, and the whole thing unraveled. It's a sad day, and it went in the trash. So this one, I am making sure these ends are in so tight, and I'm just not going to be dumb about it like I was before. Oh no, dropped my yarn. Okay, I need some more tea. My throat gets so dry when I'm talking to you guys. This tea is so good. Also, I realized I just did this, and I'll talk about what I did. My husband thinks it's the most annoying thing ever. You may have even heard it on my mic because it's right on my throat. But when I drink things, I don't take a sip and swallow, take a sip and swallow. I almost like fill my whole mouth up, and then I just take multiple gulps from that one sip. I don't know why. I've always done that. I never even knew that it was like a weird thing to do until my husband pointed it out, and he's like, why are you gulping so much? But that's just the way I do it. I don't know. Does anyone else do that? Please tell me I'm not just crazy. And if you heard me gulping and it was terrible, I'm so sorry. It's just one of those weird things, you know? Everybody does something weird, right? Tell me below what's something you do that not a lot of other people do that might be considered weird or just kind of strange. Okay, moving on to my favorite topic for today. In 2 episodes ago, maybe, it might have even been the last episode. It's been so long since I recorded, I just can't remember anything. I was talking about how I can't always afford the really beautiful hand-dyed yarn that I see everyone using, and it's always so pretty because I love how the color is not like consistent the whole way. Like there's specks and things like that just make it so unique, and I love that, but I just can't afford to indulge in that all the time. Well, the sweetest girl from Uprooted Farm and Fiber Company, her name is Ashley Lynn. She messaged me, or she commented on my video, and she said that she would love to send me some yarn, hand-dyed yarn, because she hand-dyes yarn. I'll leave a link to her Instagram down below, so you can see her yarns. They're so beautiful. And she sent me a package. She actually told me, she said, what color do you want? What kind of base do you want? I got to pick out the whole thing, and it was, honestly, I felt so spoiled. Like I do not deserve for a complete stranger to just so kindly do that for me. But she custom dyed it for me, and I chose her favorite sock yarn base, and I wanted like a mauve-y, pinkish, purple, neutral kind of shade. It's a lot to ask. A lot of different colors in there, and she did so phenomenal. It is so beautiful. Look at the beauty. Man, I love it. There's like all kinds of different specks in there. There's like some dark spots. I just love it so much. And she sent me 3 hanks. Is that what you call these? I don't know all the terms for all these things. I'm very new to really just crafting in general. But anyways, she sent me 3. They are each 100 grams. It is 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. So, I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but I'm very excited. And she did name it Rosalie, which is my daughter's name. And she had to have done that on purpose, I'm assuming, because if it was just a coincidence, what a crazy coincidence. But it is named for my daughter, and so I feel like I have to make her something with this. So I'm thinking, since there's 3 of these, I think I have enough to make her a hat for this winter, and then maybe some matching socks, and maybe even some mittens. I just don't know. I just love it, and it's so beautiful. Oh, let me show you this one. This one actually has some spots of like a fuchsia type color in there. I mean, it is just breathtaking, and the camera does not do this justice. It's so pretty because in person, like when I look at this, my first thought is that it's a purple tone. But then I keep looking at it and I'm like, no, that's like a taupe neutral tone. And that's exactly what I wanted. This is really what I wanted when I ordered the yarn for my Trescal jumper, which I talked about in my very first episode, and that ended up being just straight up lavender. And this is what I was wanting. I am so excited for this. And along with all these yarns, she also sent me the tea, a little bag of the French vanilla tea, which is so good. I can't believe I've never had it before. I like tea, and I drink tea pretty often, I would say, especially in the winter and the fall. But I had never tried French vanilla black tea. Yeah, and she sent me this cutest little card. It has little plants on it. And just the sweetest little note. And also, oh, here we go. I didn't even know this was in here. This is her little card. It's got some yarn on the front. And then here is her information. I don't know if that's probably not gonna focus. Okay, well, I'll put it down below. So sweet. And she also sent me a packet of wool soak for like wool garments. Okay, it's not specifically for wool, but it's gentle is the point. Yeah, okay. I get it. And I'm going to try this on my Trescal jumper because I have not washed it yet. I've worn it a million times. But I have not washed it yet because I didn't really know how, and it's the first sweater I've ever made, and I'm like terrified that I'm going to ruin it. But I'm not going to lie, the armpits are getting a little stinky, so it's time to wash it. And I think I'll give this a go with that. I may just run a bunch of water in the tub and put all of my handmade things in there and just do it all at one time. So I'll let you know how that goes. But along with that, she also sent the stitch marker that was on my socks, and also a bunch of other stitch markers. Let's see if I can pick them out here. They're so cute. I love stitch markers. They're just so tiny, and like you can just put anything on them. They're so cute. Okay, so she also sent me this one. This is why I'm saying they're so cute. It's like a little gummy bear. Gosh, why can't I do this? I'm so sorry that I'm so terrible. Okay, I see people always putting their hand behind it to make it focus. Focus. Okay. Sorry. But it's a very cute little pink sparkly gummy bear. So cute. And then this little white charm. Is that better? Gosh. I'm such an amateur. And this one. And these first two are like the ones that you can take off and on. I guess you would call those more of a progress keeper because you can take them off and on. And then this pretty little blue one. Flowers on it. I'm so awkward, like I'm looking at it too. Super cute. And I know there was another one. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, this one's so cute. I forgot about this one. And this little guy. Okay. Maybe I don't know where the actual lens is. Maybe that's the problem. Oh my gosh. Man. Okay, I'm trying. Well, take my word for it. It's very cute. And then the pink one on my socks too. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever. She said everyone deserves to have hand-dyed yarn, and she just so kindly gifted it to me, and I just was blown away, to be, for lack of a better word. People are nice still. There are still kind people in this world. And I'm so excited to work with this yarn, because it is a sock yarn and it has the nylon, but this does not feel anything like any other sock yarn I've ever felt. It is very, very soft. I keep hearing noises. It's very soft and it's just so beautiful. Cannot wait. So, I said that I would tell you guys why oh, my daughter just woke up. She's just standing up on her bed. I'll keep an eye on her. I told you guys I would tell you why I have been absent for so long, and the truth is, besides just being busy with having 3 small kids, and not being able to knit and crochet and sew a lot as much as I would like, I kind of went through like a crafting rut for a couple weeks. I know everyone goes through that. I just wasn't really motivated, and then I started a new workout routine challenge type thing, and that kind of consumed my brain space for a couple weeks, and then once I finally got into the hang of how the challenge was going, then I picked back up on my crafting and stuff, and I've been very motivated since then. And I also find that when I don't watch others' podcasts, I find myself unmotivated. But I can be so unmotivated, and I'll watch one podcast and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta knit. Where's my knitting? I gotta knit right now. And that's why I'm so glad that there are so many knitting podcasts out there, and I really want to look deeper and find some more. Right now, the 4 main podcasts that I watch when I have the time are Noble Character Crafts. I love her podcast. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like she is a speed knitter. She's so fast. She always has something new to show. And she's just so joyful. I love watching her. And Gabriella from Merryweather Knitting, love watching her. She is so bubbly and just fun and positive, and I feel like me and her would get along in real life so well. She also has a small daughter, so kind of in the same stage of life there. And Larka from Fiber Tales, I love her podcast, and I just love hearing her talk, honestly. I am very fascinated with, she lives in Denmark, I'm pretty sure, right? I think so. That whole area of the world, I'm very fascinated with her and knitting traditions. She lives in Norway. I've always wanted to go to like Sweden or something like that. I actually used to work with a girl who was from Sweden, and she was so sweet. And I've just always wanted to go visit over there somewhere. Maybe one day I will. And Anastasia from Free Your Sheep, love her podcast. She always has such bright garments, and sometimes I tend to I'll make something in a color that I really like, and it's like a bright, fun color, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I would have done something more neutral or something like that. But then I watch hers and I'm like, no, she can rock the bright, beautiful knit garments. I can do it too. Not everything has to be neutral, you know. And I also love just listening to her as well, because she has a different accent, and I just find that listening to people with different accents, I almost take in more of what they're saying, because I have to focus to not really understand, because they're easy to understand, but I just have to pay more attention, and I just love it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just love hearing other people. So that's all I've got to show. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I really hope to one day be in a place where I can record more regularly. But for those of you who have stuck around, thank you so much. I know I'm a little all over the place, but it's just part of being a mom, right? So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.